Well, that would fix that. Thanks,
Oh my
Michael.
gosh.
So let's start all over again. Good morning. We're so glad you're here.
It's Monday.
Yeah, thanks, Michael.
Yeah.
Jenny quit saying that because when Jenny says that, we're like, check your stuff. So,
Wow.
yeah, we were muted.
Can we just go home now?
Yeah.
I feel like we're done.
So let's hit reset. Hey, Mike, how did your live stream sound work for you guys? I forgot to go look and check yesterday. Mike was working on when we were coming back from Santa Fe, through Albuquerque. Mike was working on his live stream stuff, and so Mike, everything's working well, so he adds something.
Yeah.
And Mike was getting good. Mike is getting ready to boot his new. Don't boot your Apple. You're gonna fall in love with Apple. I know you will. His Mac that they got for. Nice. They do their setup is way different than ours. They do all of it from one. Other issues. Sorry, since Mike is on. Good morning, Dennis. So Mike, did y'all get the flickering taken care of with the cameras? I didn't see it on your test live stream if that was doing. We got a little Obadiah over here, so if you see us look that way a lot, he's looking back. Yeah. He goes, save me from this crazy ant that
I'm not a crazy ant.
So anyhow, what we were saying was monsoon season kicked in early. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yesterday, Cynthia and I were down in Alamogordo, and Mike, I don't know if you were outside when it happened, but man, crazy winds picked up. It rained some down there, and they said a suspected tornado in Oro Grande.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, good. They got their camera flicking. So nice. Good. I'll have to talk with you offline and find out what you guys did to fix that. But that's way cool. And so this is the time of year that we have to start turning electronics off before we go home. We usually don't shut. You got to shut them down and unplug them maybe. But one year during the monsoon season, we had a lightning strike hit the village office. That they had a tower. They took that down. Yeah. So it fried all the electrical there.
Their stuff too.
But we lost some things. So we're in that season where we need to start taking all that down.
Mm-hmm.
Good heavy rain here. Did y'all get it out your place too yesterday?
It was
like
really
around good. 2-ish, just before 2.
Mm-hmm.
So all that kicking in. Summer is in full swing. All the camp stuff is done. Woo!
Yay!
So now I'm in the office for 3 weeks straight. That's crazy. Trying to figure out what's going on. People asking me, so what do you have going on this week?
A lot. I
got to get in the office and find out. So we do have a memorial service that's going to happen. It won't happen at the church. It's going to happen at the gym next Monday for Neil Douglas. And so I'll be doing that, and we'll be working with them on all that and stuff. So that's part of what I'll be getting ready for this week. But
mainly it's just gearing up for August. It's coming really fast.
July for us is kind of reset month.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to do much of that in June. Our schedule changes in June because we have camps and coming off of VBS at the end of May, into camps and doing all those things.
Mm-hmm.
And then so July for us, and like I said, I've got 3 weeks in the office and I'm taking some vacation, but we have to look for a reset for the fall stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So just quick update since it is the end of the quarter. So into the second quarter, we're still working on the legal part of the name change to Summit Christian Fellowship, tweaking some things with that. Our kind of process that we're going to go through with this, and I'll say this in the update on Sunday. I like processes because that helps me stay on track. So here's our process for probably the next year or two. So rename, restructure, and rebrand.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'll say it. I'll talk with leadership tonight. We have a meeting, but I don't want to freak people out. So rebrand or rename. So we're working through the name change. We've already, that was voted on. We just got to do all the stuff for that. And man, there are like 1,000 little details with the name change. The restructure is really something that we've been talking about for a while. The big part of the restructure, Mike, you and I have talked about this, is what would biblical elders look like for our
Mhm.
church? And they have elders at Mike's church, so I've been talking with him. What would biblical elders look like
Mhm.
for Summit Christian Fellowship for our church in our context? And so working with the leadership team through that, that's part of the restructure. But also in this restructure, we went through a SWOT. I don't know if y'all know what that is. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. SWOT analysis with the leadership team. So looking at things that we need to fix in our church things. How do we get people connected quicker?
Mhm.
And that goes into that. That's really kind of a big thing. How do we connect people quicker into the life of the church? I don't want people to be here for a month before they get connected. We want to get them connected as soon as we can. So
Mhm.
um, uh, basically, most of the restructure, except for the eldership stuff, is based around that. Part of the restructure is, and I have to be careful the way I say this. Look for a plan of succession,
Mm.
because everybody's like, "What? You're leaving?"
No.
So, someday I will. I'm not going to live forever. Someday I might retire. But what we want to do is have a plan when we enact when we put it in place, when we start it. That's a whole different story. But we want to have a plan. It's kind of like a will. You make a will. That doesn't mean you're going to die tomorrow.
Right.
You just have that. When that gets put in place, it is a different story. But we want to have a plan of succession with that, and that really has to come after what do biblical elders look like? Because if we go that route with biblical elders, they would be integral in the succession plan.
Mhm.
And so, but not just that. Small groups, fellowships, all those kind of things. Kind of revisiting all that. All that's part of the restructure, and then the rebrand is going to be, once all of those things are settled, the name change and what our restructure is going to look like, then we'll roll that out big in the life of the church. And I say that take a couple of years. My idea, I'll talk with the leadership tonight, but my idea is that we roll that out in the summer of 2026,
Mm.
because that's when we're going to celebrate 125 years as a church.
Well, that's a good idea.
So we'll roll out the rebrand, the name change, all of that big stuff, have just a great big Will calls it a party, but since we're Christian and Baptist, we have to call it a fellowship. But we'll have the huge celebration in the summer of 2026, celebrating 125 years as a church, the name change, the rebrand, rolling all that stuff out, the restructure. So that's kind of where we are. We've done some things around the church. I don't know if you notice, and Angelo has been kind of heading up the church work days, where we're basically just kind of trying to slowly update things, facility wise mainly.
Mhm.
So we got the front, I don't know what to call it, front porch, the foyer outside,
Yeah.
the front part of the church. Got that painted to match our trim with a new outside. Painted some doors on the inside of the coffee area. Angelo coined the term, it's more coffee-esque now, which would shock everybody, right? So both of the colors in the coffee area, one is like a latte. That's like the name. The name latte
Didn't you
is in
do
there.
like vanilla latte or something like
Something
that?
like that. And then another one,
It's like
a
mocha
mocha or espresso is in.
espresso,
That's actually part of the official color name
but
that
it
we
looks
chose.
really good.
Yeah, it
It
does.
looks really like bright
Yep.
and just clean.
Even painting the doors, because Mike's church is pretty modern. That actually used to be a German church,
Oh, okay.
and so New Heart Cowboy Church got that before Mike came. But nice facilities, although they're looking at purchasing more land and expanding. So we're going to continue with that. We have another work day, July the 19th, scheduled. Frou. It looks nice. I just like it that it's got coffee in the name.
Yeah.
Some kind of stuff in there. And it really does. It brightened it up. I'm amazed at how much it brightened it up in the coffee area.
Day that the YWAM team painted it, we walked in when they left, and we're all like, "Oh my goodness!"
Yeah. It does help that we have new windows in there. So
yes.
And the colors that we picked go with the window colors too. the frame.
Mhm.
The windows are clear. That's the plan anyhow.
Yeah.
So yeah, working on all that, doing some other updates. My problem is, and you guys know this, that once you paint like an area, then you're looking at the next area, the next area. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man.
You
So
paint it, and then you're all like, "Oh, we should really replace the carpets."
Yeah.
And then like, "Oh."
I'd like to get done with all the painting before I do the carpets, but my next thought for like an area that I would like to paint is the downstairs office area.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that would make it so much
Because
nicer.
painting those doors from the they were natural wood color.
Mm-hmm.
Painting those to that light cream
It
color.
just makes it so bright.
It does. It does. It just opened everything.
It looks
up.
like a completely different like area.
Mhm.
Even downstairs when it got repainted, the fellowship hall.
Oh yeah.
It just makes it look so much like.
And that color wasn't too different from what was there,
No, but you could tell the difference.
Yeah, made it huge. The other, so that's kind of where we are. We're doing kind of the reset thing. The men's Bible study is still going on, but we're going to finish up that study in just a few weeks. I think it's going to happen while I'm gone, and then we'll kick off that. So we need to pick a new men's Bible study. I need to look at calendaring stuff. Dennis, that may work out really well. Dennis is in our men's Bible study. They may work out really well because we may be able to kick off the new men's Bible study at the same time as the women's Bible study. Got some stuff to do before we can do that. I got to hardwire because I don't rely on the Wi-Fi anymore here. We're going to have to hardwire in our. I think I found an easy way to do that, but so that we can have internet through the hardwire.
Yeah.
Not have to worry. Is it stormy weather? Crazy thing. The wind affects Wi-Fi. I don't know if you guys knew that. It's true.
Which is it is windy basically all the time.
A whole lot. Radio signals are like a real physical kind of thing. You can put something up and block them, and so wind affects that kind of stuff too, and other things. My conspiracy thing that 5G cell service affects us because we have. I don't know if you guys know this. Wi-Fi runs in two different channels: 2.4 gig and 5G, 5 gig, and so anyhow, working on that. So. Women's Bible study will start up. Do you have a date for that?
We're still working on that.
We'll pick on it.
But the cool thing about when we start up in August is that it's going to be in person, but also online, just like the men's Bible study.
Yep.
And so that's something that we'll be working on.
That's what. Yeah, I got to get hardware ready for that. Biggest thing with that is making sure that I can connect.
Yeah.
Directly in. So that one we have to set up a computer and a camera for that, but that one will be we're gonna launch the hybrid version like the men, so online and in person. So we can do both. That's actually really nice in the winter because if weather gets iffy, people are afraid to get out. That'll usually drop the attendance in an evening Bible study. But if you're online, you can just do online as long as you have power. So we'll do that. We're moving our student, so our youth group, we call our Wednesday night. We're so innovative here. That's what the youth wanted a while back. Youth group, we have a logo for that, but we're moving that from Wednesday nights to Sunday nights. So that'll be cool because that's going to give a whole different kind of more, I think a more intimate kind of feel for that, more of a discipleship. Which is where we want to go with our students. Want to really dig in deep in discipling them, and so we're going to move that to Sunday nights. That'd be nice at 5. That'll open up Wednesday nights, which will be nice for me. I won't have back-to-back kids club and students, and that'll hopefully allow some other people to be able to help. Because Wednesday nights at 6 is kind of hard for some people to get off work and rush and get here and all that kind of stuff. Men's Bible study, women's Bible study. We've got to work for the kind of the reset for that. Our youth group working on the reset for that for the fall. Oh, running late, cooking breakfast. Woo! Yeah. Are you cooking with gas? Because now we're cooking. So other things in the fall, we have some other things that we'll be launching. We'll be letting you know a little bit more about that. We got to finalize some of those things. But I'll just kind of you guys get this scoop because y'all are in the know. Two things that we want to launch with. Well, one thing particularly that we want to launch with that is in September, I want to launch fellowship groups. And what fellowship groups are going to be is not community groups. They're a step toward community groups, which are in-home or Bible studies outside of Sunday morning. What we want to launch is fellowship groups. That's one of the ways that we want to help people get connected quicker. And so once a month, you will get together with this fellowship group, and we have to decide on the duration of those, whether it's 6 months or 3 months. You would get together with those, and that helps to get to know people. And then whatever we decide, if it's quarterly, every 3 months, or then those will shuffle. So we'll redo those, and then you'll get together once a month for a fellowship with a different group of people. Get to know. I've done this in the past.
Pretty cool.
We did this at the large church that I came from, because we grew. Golly, that church grew from 85 to about 300 in 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that really helped people to connect with other people. So we're looking at doing that here. Well, actually not looking. We're going to do that here. We're going to launch that in September. So that'll be fun. You'll be hearing more about that throughout July and August. Another thing that we're going to be doing, which is cool, is we're going to have a welcome table in the coffee area on Sunday morning. So that kind of changed some of the flow there a little bit. It's not going to be so much for hanging out and fellowshipping. We have to figure out a different way to do that. But have a welcome table in the coffee area so that first-time guest can fill out a digital connect card, and the people at the welcome table will have their name and have a gift for them. So a way to be able to kind of connect with them. And we know in the summer we have a lot of people who they don't live here, but we still want to do that with them. We just want to connect with them. We have a lot of people that come here frequently. They don't live here, but have really connected in the life of our church, and I love that. I think that's way cool. So we want to do that, particularly with people that are coming.
Yeah.
Another thing that we want to institute is monthly fellowships, church-wide fellowships, and so we'll be letting you know about those. I think we're going to have one in July, one in August, and September to kind of try that out, see how that's working. But monthly potluck fellowships. I don't think that's just Baptist. I think that's just a Christian thing that we do. So we're going to try to reinstitute that. We kind of got away from that for a while because the amount of people coming wasn't huge, but now we have a whole different group of people. And so want to try to do that as another way to help people get connected. And that one would be the one that we want to help urge people. If you're inviting someone for the first time, remember your margins. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. An hour a day, a night a week, and a day a month. I'm still working on that. It's my brother holding me accountable there.
Yeah.
To do those, what we want to really do with the monthly fellowships we want everything we do to be strategic. We want a purpose for it,
right?
Not just
to do it, not just to have because. A potluck.
So those potlucks are to help people connect in the life of our church, but we also want to use those to give easy ways for people to invite people to church. Hey, want to invite you, and we're having a fellowship afterwards. That I'll bring enough food for your family too. So you can invite them, let them know ahead of time as you invite them, because it kind of surprises people, particularly if they show up for the first time, and some of them will hang out, but not all of them. But that gives a good way to invite them to hang out afterwards. So that'll be the kind of the invite your one, like we did, kind of time. So yeah. So you can tell we need the 3 weeks between now and to get all that planned and ferreted out and stuff. Then I'm taking 2 weeks off and then hit the ground running. Yikes.
Yep, I know.
Yikes.
It's crazy.
Yeah. One of the weeks, Mom and I are going to go away, and then the other week, Hope and I are going to go camping. So that'll be fun. Love camping out in that little trailer. And I'll remind people on Sunday, clock off is changing.
Oh yeah.
It's continuing to change.
It's packed every single it starts Wednesday during the summer
Yeah,
and it goes until
it's
Monday.
busy in town. So yesterday after lunch, we had a sandwich shop and we were leaving, and this is happening more and more. People come in with a little travel trailer and they came into the post office here and stuck. And I saw them trying to back up, and I saw the ladies down outside, and I thought, oh, this could be dicey because if you offer unsolicited advice, sometimes it's not received well. But I thought, I think I can help this guy out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys know this. So when you're pulling a trailer, um, when you pull up, whatever way you want to back the trailer, you want to turn in that direction at the end. So if you want to back the trailer to the right, as you're pulling up right when you get to the end, you want to turn to the right. Now the trailer is already angled that way. Then you turn your wheels before you start moving, and you've already got that. They weren't doing that. So I was going to go tell them. Turns out it was two young ladies. And they were
hop in the car.
very appreciative. I did. I told them, and then she wasn't doing it, so I went back up. I said, "Do you want me to do that? Would you?" And so I backed it up and pulled it up. "Oh, you made that look easy." I said, "Well, you were almost there. You just got to make that little turn at the end." So, anyways, that's our town. We just so many people.
Mm-hmm.
I heard we're talking with some guys with disaster relief in Ruidoso, and they said the estimates are that it's going to be 7 years before it quits flooding when it rains. Now it'll get better,
right? But still, I mean,
it doesn't take much rain at all.
No.
And we've missed it a couple of times, thankfully, but it just takes a little bit of rain, and right there at K Bob's, so that's where 70 and Suter, that big Y they call it.
Yeah,
it's like a river. They had Angelo told me he saw a storage container floating down there. And it wasn't a flood kind of rain. It was
just like a
normal rain.
Yeah.
Keeps flooding out the racetrack, getting kind of close. They're trying to fix that. But as long as that's going to happen, it's going to be way different here. And I don't think it'll go back.
No.
I think we're just going to be, it's way busier than it used to be. But opportunities, we have opportunities to reach people more than ever. Not only the people who are here full time, but opportunities to reach people when they're here just on the weekends. Think of it this way: every weekend is a mission opportunity in Clapcroft.
There you go.
Yeah, and in the summer it starts on Wednesday.
Yeah,
when they start coming in.
Yep.
This weekend, especially, I don't know what this weekend is going to be like because
they have stuff starting
Day on Friday.
I think Thursday night.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm going to try to do Java and Jesus on Friday, even though it's a holiday. So I may do it from the back porch, just for fun, because it is a holiday. But because I've been missing you guys, because for 3 weeks I haven't been around. So, anyways, that's what's happening. That's what's going on. I think I caught you guys up with everything where we are now. I'll give an update on Sunday to the church, but you guys tuned in to In the Know. So you are in the know of what's happening. If I missed anything, I'll let you know. Let me pray for you guys, send you out into your week. I every day now I have to wake up and say, what day is this? This is Monday, right? Good.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'll let you guys know. Oh, because America, happy Monday. So we'll be back in, should be in a normal routine, at least for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So love you guys. Let's pray. Lord, thank you for your love for us. Thank you for the way that you show it to us all the time. God, would you help us to be good stewards of everything that you've given us, and God, in the series Margin, that we learn to number our days, to be wise in the way that we spend our days, to build some margin, to allow you to move and work in us and through us. And God, even this morning, talking about things that are happening, coming up, God, allow us. I pray that you would help us to be open to just allow you to move and work in the margins of our life. Help us to create room for that to happen. We ask that you would use us in ways that bring you honor and glory and bring people to faith in Jesus. For it's in his name we pray. Amen. Thanks, guys, for jumping in, and we will see you with Jim on Wednesday talking
Mhm.
about the 80% rule. 80% full is full.
Mm-hmm.
So